We knew that the hedges were in big trouble when it comes to the share price of AMC not going down as much as they wanted to, but also because, the way Citadel is reacting to some of the allegations and putting an army of lawyers behind something that I wouldn't really, expect them to spend that much effort onto if they didn't have anything or something big to hide or to avoid from public opinion to be aware of. Because even prior to getting into that, guys, I don't know if you saw this a couple of days ago, but this is a picture on Wall Street with a charging bull, on Wall Street, and somebody got there and put, between 5 to 10,000 bananas under his nose, and facing him, Harambe, the symbol of, a gorilla that died a couple of months ago, in symbol of the ape community, and interestingly enough, this statue of the gorilla representing the apes have been removed today. Why? We don't know. By who? No idea. But it's pretty clear to me that they don't want public opinion to get their attention on this matter. Why? Because they are actually going to be aware of what is happening with AMC stock and with the overall market as a whole, hence putting some more pressure, potentially having, people behind this whole manipulation to lose a big chunk of money if the scam was to die away. All right. Now, moving on with similarities, and this is news from Cat Striker. All right. We talked about and mentioned her a couple of times ago because she's the one actually paying some of the advertisement flying companies with the banners, in New York with the hashtag Ken Griffin lied on the oath. We covered this a couple of weeks ago, and today she's actually updating us on something even bigger happening behind the scenes. Well, breaking news. This is the 4th cease and desist letter. Looks like Ken Griffin doesn't want the news spread, obviously. He sent this letter to 28 companies. Letters were sent to companies that don't do business anymore. Guess what? I won't back down. Hashtag Ken Griffin can't silence us. So looking at the letter, you can see it's coming from Clark Lock LLP. These are lawyers. This is a lawyer firm, and they're actually sending this letter to actually force companies that are working or can potentially be hired by this lady in the name of or under the symbol Cat Striker on Twitter to actually they're pretty much forcing them not to do business with her. Why? Because they are representing Ken Griffin and Citadel and think whatever the banners are actually posting are going against Ken Griffin reputation, image, hence being defamatory billboards. Now, what is really interesting about this thing is when you look at the amount of companies they send this letter to. In fact, she mentioned it, 28 companies, but some of these companies are even not in business anymore. So they just Google pretty much who is flying in the business of, flying advertisement, and they send those letters without even doing a research. What does that tell you? It tells you that they were so in the rush. They were so in the rush of, putting pressure onto this that they didn't even do proper research. This is, the ABC of lawyers' work. Come on, man. Come on. 28 companies. Why does it take so much effort? Why Ken Griffin is actually putting so much energy into putting this thing down? What does it, I don't know. How will it hurt him to have a flying banner in New York City saying Ken Griffin lied on the oath, or Ken Griffin, whatever Ken Griffin hashtag that will mention? His headquarters of the companies are not even in New York City. They are in Chicago. All right, maybe one of the biggest offices in New York City, and I think that is precisely why he doesn't want that to happen. Why? Because if you really have something to hide, you will pretty make sure that the word doesn't get out for as much people to actually get it as possible. Because if you don't have anything to hide, I mean, you don't care, because if it's not true, then it's not true. But if it's true, you pretty much make sure that it got covered as quickly as possible. So I'm saying that this is another sign, another another example of how exposed of their position and the stress they are under based on the pressure the apes are putting on by uncovering, every single week, every single day, everything that he did, everything that they're actually doing, because the end is closer. It may not reflect on the share price of AMC tomorrow, next week, or next month, but definitely, it's getting us closer and closer. So guys, I'm just saying, let's be a little bit more patient. This thing will unfold quicker than we think.